Hey everyone, this is Emily, the Career Catalyst, and this week we've been talking about money questions. So a lot of times in an interview situation, you'll be asked something horrifying like, what is your salary expectation? Terrifying question, everyone hates it. Now, the good news, as I said earlier this week, is that in a lot of places, questions about your salary history are now illegal. Many states, you can see the list in my blog post. The other good news here is that in a similar number of places, it is increasingly common or even required that organizations post salary ranges when they put a job up. So that's all kind of good news. If there is a salary range listed in the job you've applied for, you're in a slightly better position to talk salary than if not. But even if not, don't worry, we'll cover kind of how you duck that question a little bit today. So let's say that you are in an interview, things are going really well, and then as things wrap up, they say, and what is your expected salary range? Or how much would you like to be earning? Something like that, right? So you have a couple of options here, but the point of what you want to say when you get this question is you kind of want to duck the question. You don't want to give them an answer unless you absolutely have to. So what does that look like? Well, a few things. If the salary range has been posted, you can say, I saw that the salary range for this position was listed as between X and Y, and I'm fine in that range. If not, or if there is some sort of layer of mystery in there, which is not uncommon, then you can say something like, I'm very interested in the responsibilities of this job, and it sounds like a great opportunity for me to really use my skills. And so I'm willing to consider any fair salary range. Those are kind of the general ideas that you're going for with this question. It puts you at a disadvantage in the conversation if you state a number first. So try to kind of dodge the question as much as you can. Another option is something like, I'm really excited about this job. It looks really interesting. What is the salary range that you are considering for this role? These are just kind of the ideas you can use in order to not be the first person to give a number. Now, usually that will work, but every once in a while it won't, and they're going to push you and try to get a range from you. And so in case that happens, what you will want to do is be sure that you have actually done your research ahead of time. So you're going to hit up sites like salary.com and payscale.com and Glassdoor so that you know the ranges, not only for this particular position, but ideally for the city that you're living in. And if you know those ranges, what you're going to do is you're going to go for kind of the midpoint. So you'll see on those websites that typically there is, at least on salary.com and payscale.com, there is a range of pay. So it'll say like the bottom 10%, the mid-range, the high end, whatever. And sometimes it's a graph. So start at the middle and go out to kind of the next iteration. So if it's like, this is the median, then you go out to the next 25th percentile there. So you want to say then something like, well, it looks like the average for a job like this with my experience and education is between $75,000 and $90,000 a year, depending on benefits. Always say depending on benefits, because remember, benefits can have a really big mitigating influence on the rest of the salary. So you might, for instance, be getting slightly underpaid, but have something really great in the package, like perhaps they pay 100% of your insurance, or perhaps they give you some really fabulous, like they double your contributions to your retirement plan, that kind of thing. Again, you do want to be kind of clear in yourself what you really need to live on and what feels comfortable. But as long as you are in that range, that's kind of what you want to go for. And the whole rationale for this is that when you are negotiating your salary, what you want to be sure of is that you're not leaving money on the table. And so if you have made them state the salary range first, then you know kind of what the typical range is. And then you can negotiate upwards from there. It puts you at a disadvantage if you've said a number and then want to negotiate it upwards. It's still possible. You haven't shot yourself in the foot in that case, but it does definitely disadvantage you. So try really hard to duck the question. And if you can't duck the question, give a range, and you'll want to give a fairly big range, but make sure that the bottom end of the range is what you absolutely really are comfortable with. And remember to say, depending on benefits. So I hope this is helpful to you. Let me know if you need any more resources on it. I have a bunch of stuff around this that I can shoot out to you. And let me know in the comments if you have any other strategies for dealing with this somewhat terrifying question. Have a good weekend.